StockMiner.com studios here in the beautiful Black Hills of South Dakota. I'm your stock miner, Brian Johnson. Slow, boring, sideways moving week. All consolidation. It's about as clear as it can get right in front of you on the chart. You can see us bouncing very cleanly between the two lines we had here. Little bit of a spill over here, a little bit of a spill over today, but overall just holding beautifully to these two areas here. All week long, not much to trade. Hope you had some stuff to be watching from an individual stock aspect. If you did not, you should have been following even my daily videos. They had Apple and FAS and FAZ, which had breaks today. Otherwise, really, they were kind of slow this week as well. But today we had good breaks on Apple and FAS and FAZ. Made for some great trading. If you guys were following along, should have made some free money off of that. You're welcome if you actually followed along, took those trades. I've been preaching about the entries for quite a while, so I hope you guys were right on top of it. Anyway, as for the indices, we didn't go anywhere all week long, just wandering sideways. Dow Daily, same thing here, talking about those 20-day moving averages, and look what we did. We did close below the 20-day by the time we were all said and done. Now, we're only about 6 points away on the Dow, so I'm not really all that concerned about it. However, it is a close below, first one we've had in many, many moons, going all the way back to about the middle of April. So you can see here that while they tried to hold it, they just couldn't make it happen by the end of the day. Not such a big deal at this point, but may become a big deal coming into next week. So I would assume that maybe if you're watching the news or whatever, you might hear all kinds of speculation about down or troubles and this and that and whatnot. I would just ignore it all. Just take the weekend off and just wait until Sunday or really Monday morning to see what's going to happen there. And let's see if this consolidation actually resolves itself. Right now we're seeing the same thing in the NASDAQ. This is about as clean as it gets right here. I'll draw on some new lines for you to really be watching coming into the new trading week. But for the week, for the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, going nowhere. Here's a real quick look at the daily. This did not break 2378.73. This did not break the 20-day moving average. You need to check that. Held by a point, so you can see the consolidation continue here as well, going all the way back to the end of April, where we have gone effectively nowhere in the markets. Looking at the weekly, very curious. Look at this. 1, 2, 3 sideways weeks. This consolidation continues to hold itself on the highs as we exit the week. Friday's over, candle has closed, and we've gone really nowhere since we started the last couple weeks. So you can see, I mean, we're just moving nowhere. Big white candle here, and we've gone sideways since then. All this is right now, for the time being, it's just a high base formation. This is still bullish on these bigger time frames. So I wouldn't go getting all panicked by what we saw this week. Don't let yourself get influenced by what you're hearing on the news. Look at the charts. The charts will give you the story. It'll tell you the story. It'll give you the entries, and it'll tell you when to get in. More importantly, once you're in, where are your targets and things to look at. So I just don't get wrapped up in the news. And this is why. The charts tell me everything I need to know. I don't have to listen to any of the CNBC and all the rest of them out there to give me my direction coming into next week. We can see it right here on the bigger time frames. We haven't broken anything. So until we do, I just have to remain, 60% bullish, 40% bearish. I just can't get bearish on these things quite yet. It's just a triangle consolidation. It's really pretty clean to me. So we'll wait to see if we get these breaks. Look how well this 200 held. I sent out an intraday update for my subscribers, kind of telling them what I was seeing here in the bigger picture. Very cleanly diagrammed the triangle that we're in right here and told them to watch very closely that 200 period moving average here. And it held very, very nicely. Now we had a couple dips below it, but nothing that stuck. So support is still holding. We haven't really broken anything to the bull side. We haven't necessarily broken anything to the bear side either. We are just in a triangle consolidation here, waiting for it to resolve itself. We did get closes on the Dow and on the SPX below the 20-day moving averages, and those were absolutely areas I wanted to watch very closely. So this was a more pronounced close below the 20-day moving average on the SPX. Always give the bulls at least a day, well, usually at least 1 day for sure, to see if they can't creep their way back up and above that area coming into Monday. But you can see lower areas still holding. This green line right here has been strong support, doing very well so far, bouncing cleanly off this line. Gotta love it when it does what you want it to do within the markets itself. As I said, the charts will tell you which way to go. Still looking for breaks in and below here, back and above here for the bigger moves. VIX held beautifully below the 19 area. I don't really start to get too panicked until we get into those areas, and this week was no exception here. Sideways all week long in the VIX, little up, little down, little going nowhere overall. Last week was a good strong move, but once again, coming right back down. We see it all the time. We just can't seem to get anything that will stick in any way, shape, or form on the VIX itself. It's just all sideways. Going all the way back to December, you can see we've just very content. The markets are very content. They really have. There's just no signs whatsoever of panic at all when it comes to the VIX side of things. Apple, here was the break. We talked about the 345 mark, 344.50. We got a break and a quick retreat yesterday, but then today it couldn't hold it. This is just about as perfect TA as you can get. Really, what we're looking at here is a descending triangle, and it played out perfectly. Broke the line, came back quickly to retest it, but could not get back above it, and then collapsed again today. So good trading from a day trader's perspective yesterday. Good trading, great trading from a day trader's perspective today. And you can see where the marks held really, really well. We held right at the 200 as well. Very logical place to stop on the way down here. This time did not hold, crashed right through as we low based and fell through. This is just really, this is just textbook TA. If you're looking into technical courses or whatever the case might be, this is about as clean as it's going to get. This is a chart that you should absolutely use when you're looking at low base, descending triangles. This just played out perfectly. They don't always work quite as well, but this one was just really gorgeous from Apple's standpoint. So anyway, we crashed below this area. Good trades yesterday. Great trades today as it didn't bounce on us like it did yesterday. This one just continued its onslaught to the downside. Now we're looking at these lower levels here in Apple coming into next week, seeing if it can somehow find a way to get itself back up and over these areas. 344.50, 345 made for what, a $4 or $5 trade. So just I've been talking about that level for quite a while. The more conservative people were to wait until we broke the 50-day moving average, which we did. Now you're looking at this blue line as your next line of support. So coming in, if you for some reason held short Apple over the weekend, you'll want to be careful of this coming into Monday morning's trading and see if it doesn't bounce off this line and show some sort of little bit of support down in here. But you're in a good trade. Don't you dare lose money on it. Very, very, very good trade. I hope you guys got to take some of that. About as easy as it gets right there. Apple Weekly, same type of thing. Now, we broke the 20-week and closed below the 20-week moving average. I'm going to give the bulls next week a shot, try to pull this thing back up. But I'll tell you what, coming into options expiration week, we can't expect volatility here. Question will be, where will it close by the time this is all over with? Because Apple is not looking good right now. It's looking a little bit weak. Bulls have got to get this thing going next week if they want any shot of trying to save this thing in the short term. Otherwise, 320, I really think that's a good, strong area coming into the next few weeks for Apple to see if it just can't find its strength. FAS was another one I gave you on Wednesday. Wednesday was below 28.50 for an entry. Gave you an entry yesterday. Couldn't stick, but today it did. So you got two entries on this one, yesterday and today. It played out perfectly. Below the 28.50 mark. Should have made a good 60 cents on this trade by now if you're still in it. We're right at some support levels, but I like this 25-ish area, somewhere down in here for your next line of support. This thing played out just beautifully right here. But I'd watch this cautiously to see if the options expiration plays any part in any kind of a rebound within these coming into next week. Loved what I saw here. Below 28.50 was your entry. There's another good quick money maker for you. And FAZ was just This was really the more pretty of the two charts. Really, really like this one. This one was above 42, gave you an entry yesterday. Couldn't hold, but did hold this upper blue line, which I love to see on any kind of a break. And here today we took off again from that upper blue line, struck through the $42 mark, giving you yet another great entry in FAZ, and a dollar should have been made very easily out of this one just today alone. That is a heck of a run by FAZ. This thing was up 4%. We probably pulled 2.5% to 3% out of this thing today. Pretty easily. So very, very happy with this trade. Been talking about that $42 mark for a long, long time. So if you've been following me for any kind of time, you should have made money on this today. This made for an excellent, excellent trade today. So did Apple. So did FAS, depending on what your poison was. The indices did not go anywhere, and that is why I always give people options outside of the indices. I give more of these options on the subscribers newsletters. I had one that played out very well this week. I don't know if I'm going to take it off, so I'm not sure. I'll share that one with you over the weekend, but as soon as we do take it off the subscribers list, I'll let you guys know about it. Anyway, it has to do with the energy sector, in case you guys like to play those. I'm still watching oil and gold. We're still doing quite a bit more in the subscribers newsletter. Lots more to talk about in those, along with way more trend lines and stuff for you to watch. So if you're liking the daily, sign up for the newsletter. If you don't want to do that, at least if you would help me out by posting my site to a message board, Google or Yahoo or one of your other favorite trading sites. And I just think there's an opportunity to help other people out there as well. If they didn't have Apple, or if they weren't watching FAF and FAZ on their charts, they needed to, and if they are, sometimes it's just good to have somebody else's opinion on where you think it's going to go next. So we struck gold here, did very well on these trades, especially today on all of them. So if you would do that, I would really, really appreciate it. And we will see you, as we always do, on Monday. Have a good weekend, guys. Talk to you then. Bye.